We are on live broadcast right now. Hello, Mr. Raka. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for joining the program today. I know that you are not a stranger to our audience anymore, Mr. Raka. Mr. Sani Hansa, thank you for joining us from Kano today.
You're welcome. Good afternoon. It's evening here.
Is it
Oh, it's
afternoon in Kano?
It's afternoon in Canada. It's evening here.
Okay, okay. Good evening for me.
Today, we are here to discuss about the three candidates, Peter Obi, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Atiku Abubakar. So, Mr. Raka. Hello, Mr.
Yeah,
Raka.
yeah, I'm with
Three,
you. I'm with you.
we have three leading candidates. So, who do you think is capable with the situation of Nigeria right now?
Before we go into the main topic, behind the studio, before you came on live, Mr. Hamza said something, and I'd like to use this opportunity to make that thing very, very clear. He said, I was telling him about oil in the south, and he said, I should not claim what does not belong to me. The oil in the south belongs to the people in the south. It is this one Nigerian bullshit that makes it think that certain people now owns it more than me. I am a Delta man, proudly a Delta man from the oil producing area. If it were not for the stupidity of the southern politicians, a man like Hamza could not come and tell me to my face that I should not claim what does not belong to me. How on earth will you say the oil in the south does not belong to me? It means that the man who said that the oil in Jigawa does not belong to the Jigawa people, that it belongs to, so that the oil in Bayelsa does not belong to Bayelsa, it belongs to people in Jigawa, which means you reason along the same line. I feel very, very offended and very, very insulted. Mr. Hamza.
I think Mr. Anza was joking at that time. It was a
Okay,
joke, Mr.
Let's go to
okay,
the
okay.
topic because see,
If,
let's go to
if
the
it's a
topic.
joke, oh no,
See,
if it's
It
a
was
joke,
let's be
if
honest.
it's a joke, then we go on.
Listen, what I'm saying now, America have oil, Britain have oil,
mm,
and the oil belong. Saudi Arabia have oil, and the oil is not in everybody's house. It belongs to Saudi Arabia. It's highly uncivilized for anybody to claim what is in that territory. If that territory fall under attack, the soldiers who go and defend that territory are coming from all over part of the country. So it's highly uncivilized for anybody to claim because of the nature of by coincidence, by accident, oil appear in his backyard. You only have the right for compensation. There's no country in the world, no country, I quote, no country in the world that the oil belong unless United States where they come as a state, as a different country to form a country. But UK, Russia, all these countries, the natural resources of that country belongs to every member of that country. It's
yes, you are
I
only
right.
agree. I,
an
I
uncivilized.
agree.
Yes, you are right.
I agree with you. I
So
agree with you. But right
Let's
now,
let's
discuss
but
go to the topic.
about
Let's go to
today's
the topic.
topic. Let's forget about that.
no,
Or let's
no,
just
no,
Let's
no,
go to the
no, no,
topic.
no,
Let's
no,
go
no,
to
no,
the
no, no,
topic.
no. I agree,
Let's
but
go to the
Nigeria,
topic. Oh, I need the program.
we have not established
Let's
that
go to
Nigeria
the
is one yet.
topic about the president. Let's drop this. Any civilized person
Uh,
know every oil,
we are
airspace,
going to the
water
topic.
space, border belong to
We
every
will go
member,
to the
every member of
topic,
the
but
country.
let me establish here
I
that
don't, we
the
don't want
oil
that
in the
one
south
because we
belongs
all
to
agree with
me.
you.
To
Your
me,
whole world
I'm
don't
sharing
believe
it
in
with you
what you are
because we
saying.
have one Nigeria.
Your whole
That's it
world
first.
does not share what you
The
are
oil does
sharing.
not belong
You
to
are
you.
alone on
A
this one.
Fulani man does not know. What is the color of oil? What is the color of
Please,
crude oil?
let's go to the topic, or we leave
Uh,
the topic. If you don't have anything to
okay,
say,
let's go to top, but I've made my
let's
mind clear.
let's forget about this. Mr. Hansa, I
Okay.
think you are
yes,
right. That
Yeah.
the oil in Nigeria,
You
even
know
though
about
it's in the
CID, whatever
backyard
does
of
not
my
belong.
father's house, belongs to Nigeria as a
Yes.
country, not one person. I believe that.
See,
And
in Canada, you have Eskimos, you have all
it's
other
okay.
things.
But
Everything belongs
I have a larger stake to that oil
Let's
than
talk
you.
about program. Let's talk about it. If you say
It's,
like me, you don't
it's,
have anything to say.
it's
No
okay
problem.
now.
Let's talk about the program. Let's talk about the
Yes,
program.
because you
Okay.
don't have anything to say, you keep going back
Okay.
to this, that.
Mr.
And
Answer.
that is, you see,
Mr. Answer,
Mr.
it's okay.
Wata,
It's
you
okay.
can go to jail in Canada, what you're saying. You can go to jail in UK. You calling people's name that black is what they call
There
it.
is a
There's a
freedom
law for
of
it.
speech here. There is a freedom of speech in the West.
Yeah, but
They
not
don't
by
put you
saying
in jail
white,
for.
black, Eskimos. No.
Okay.
Not by saying black
Mr.
people, Eskimos, Indians. No.
Mr. Answer, it's
Racism.
okay. It's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay now. It's okay. It's okay. Let's quickly dive into today's discussion. So we have three strong candidates for this upcoming general elections in Nigeria. So Peter Obi is there, Atiku Abubakar is there, and Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So we are going to rate three of them today. Who do you think is capable of managing Nigeria with the situation of the country right now, the insecurity ravaging the lives of innocent civilians, and many other things facing the country? So who do you think is capable of bringing Nigeria or taking Nigeria to that Eldorado? Go ahead.
Me or Hamza?
Mr. Hanza. Mr. Hanza.
Oh, he hasn't finished. I thought you gave him the floor to go on. So I think
Because
it's not fair if you see, it's only fair if we can analyze each of these candidates separately before we say capable. Because unless you are talking about dictatorship, but if you are talking about democracy, you look at which group, which camp, which party has a program that can take take us to where we're expected to be. In that aspect, if you look at them now, we have PDP was in government, which is represented by Atiku. The Labour Party were in some states, Ondo and Delta Edo State. And we have APC in many states and federal. So if you look at them, you look at their program, you look at how they run the government, then you will be able to reach conclusion which one has a better program that the country needs. Because unless we remove our mind from a dictatorial thinking that because a president is a president, then everything in that government must be about him. Don't forget, in democracy, we have the legislature, we have the judiciary, then we have the executive. In many occasions, the judicial can refuse to accept, the legislature will not accept what the executive want to do. An executive can come with a very beautiful program, it can be frustrated by the legislative. So it's a wrong thinking, it's a wrong state of mind to think that a judiciary, executive and the executive and the legislative have no role in where we go into what we want to achieve as a country. It means we are going back to our African way of thinking of the king who decides everything. So in a democracy, if you look at that, Labour rule in Ondo State, the rules in Edo State, and we know what they did. When you look at the program, their achievement, their design, I cannot even say exactly what their program is. But if you look at PDP, people have ruled this country. Let me tell you the achievement of PDP. Number one achievement of PDP, which Bola Tinubu claimed, is the bringing of this GSM. The liberalization of this GSM is achievement of PDP. You know? And then PDP also started the killing of this tribal politics. This man is that man is that. PDP tried to kill it. And also another evil of the country, the other evil thing that is working against the country upon tribalism is this religious people. Is this religious leaders, both on the Christian side, both on the Muslim side. The extremism. Do you know, let me tell you something. A night before the election, Christians in Nigeria keep on their status on the phone, all put Jesus saved, Jesus, you know, all this stuff. What does that have to do with development?
Mr. Answer, you are diverting the question
No, I'm
to
telling you the
something else.
program. what I'm saying, I'm not about it. I'm trying to tell you, these are the evils we have from religious people who control little mind, because Europe did not develop until they do away with all those things. The French Revolution did not
No,
happen.
no, listen, maybe you didn't get the question properly.
I'm
He's
thinking a
saying
party
that
who can do better. I'm telling you,
yes,
they have a party, the party have manifesto, unless they deviate from those manifesto. So that's why I'm looking at the manifestos of the party, what the party have done, not individual. Because the individual and the democracy cannot rule. Obasanjo had a lot of issue with Naba. Gali Naba was frustrating Obasanjo on certain issues. So it's not always straightforward that the president can bring a bill and they can quench the bill. They can take the bill, the president can quench the bill. So if you understand that, they will look at the party. Because one thing you should know, no human being wants to be a failed president. Either Tinubu, either Atiku, either Obi. None of them want to have it a record that they failed Nigeria. So they must be putting in the best. So we can only check what kind of best do they have. Now, if you go to Obi was in governor of Anambra State. What changes do we have in Anambra State? What change has he brought in 8 years he spent in Anambra State? So when you look at that, also Atiku was the vice president for almost 8 years again. We see all this privatization and stuff. What benefit has that brought to the table? Does that change our road? Does that create anything? Does that change the way we think? Does that improve our economy? So these are questions. These are the lay before we go into the main program. This is the lay down I want us to look at it objectively, without being sentimental, without pointing people, without calling names. I rest, let him talk, then I will add if there's
yes,
anything.
Mr. Sani, I understand what you are trying to say, and I learned something from you that the candidate might be strong, but if the political party is not strong,
Yes.
you understand? So we don't rate it based on individual, we rate it based on the political party. So I understand that. That's a
Let
very
me give
good
you
one.
one point before we go. You know, the president, the legislator wanted direct vote, direct selection, not primaries, where they go to individual people and select, which is more democratic. Which there's no need to give any delegate any money. But the president don't want it. The judiciary took the thing to court, the thing died. So you can see it's not, the president may want to do something, the judiciary may kill it. The judiciary may want to do something, the president may kill it. Or the court may stop it. The legislative, you know, there are three arms of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. They hold each other. If you don't have three thinking the same way, you can never get anything. You always have a problem.
All right. Thank you.
Stop there. You can continue.
Thank you. Mr. Raka, go ahead. The floor is yours. Three candidates: Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and
Yeah, today when my son came back from school, they wrote English today, actually. They are writing WAEC. My boy is 16 and is writing in his WAEC. So I was telling him that the first step in answering a question is to pick out the salient word, the most important words in that question. Now, the question Nekpe asked was, which of these candidates, Peter Obi, Atiku, and Tinubu, who is more capable among these three candidates? And in order to approach these questions, you must pick the silent words. And the silent word, S-A-L-I-E-N-T, the salient words here are who, candidate, capable. So who among these three candidates are more capable to rule Nigeria in 2023? Now let me go in alphabetical order. Atiku. I don't have anything against Atiku. I really don't have anything against Atiku, because when he was contesting between Buhari, we didn't have a choice. It was between Atiku and Buhari. But because I know Buhari to be a nepotic, tribalistic, very biased, and very bitter personality, I had a preference for Atiku because that was the only choice we had. So, and the reason why I had a preference for Atiku then was because I didn't see him as a nepotic person. I didn't see him as a bitter person. I see more of a, I saw him more of an exposed person, devoid of this tribal affiliation or tribal inclination. So I saw him more of somebody who is more attuned to modern social civilization than Buhari. But then Atiku didn't win the election, and in came in Buhari, a Fulani man. And let me get this straight that Atiku is also a Fulani man. So I didn't think morally and justifiably that a Fulani man should be handing over to another Fulani man. It is going to create the wrong psychology into every Fulani man that is in Nigeria. We already have a Yaradua who ruled 2 years as a Fulani man. We have a Buhari who has ruled 8 years. That's 10 years. So if we're going to add another 8 years of Atiku to 10 years, which would mean that Fulani alone, out of the over 370 tribes in Nigeria, one tribe alone is going to rule Nigeria for that's 15 years. Yeah, that's 18 years. So, which means before it gets to the turn of every other tribe in the 370 years, it's going to take about 1,000,000 years for any other tribe to have the chance. So it will be wrong now to set that psychological precedence on the Fulani people that inhabit Nigeria. So that is why I do not want Atiku to become president. I don't like him. It's not as if he can't rule Nigeria, but I certainly do not attune myself to a Fulani. Not that I have anything against Fulani, but it will be wrong and a complete moral insult to the rest of the tribes of Nigeria to sit back and look while Fulanis play on our intelligence that they know politics and they'll be handing the baton of leadership between one another. So that's my problem with Atiku. And besides, Atiku, with what happened in the primaries in PDP, how can people blatantly come openly and be advertising the loot that they have loot years from the suffering masses, and they are regurgitating this loot back to the masses to reinstate them again to further loot you more? Do you know what it means to give some $20,000 is about that's about 10 million naira, about 12 million naira. Somebody can actually give 12 million naira. Now I'm trying to look at a business of 12 million naira. A 12 million naira business in Nigeria can employ 5 people, and you are giving it out to 1,000 people. 12 million times 1,000 is 1.2 billion naira. So somebody can actually have 1.2 billion naira and just give it away flat. And to the fact that Nigeria has its indigenous currency, and then we can actually watch those who claim to want to rule us spending the currency of another country and making rubbish of our own personal currency. For that alone, I do not want to even see an Atiku in presence. So after Atiku, we go to Bola, because I said I'm going to go alphabetical order. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, I also watched the election in the APC primaries. Quite frankly, if anybody wants to get the affirmation or the conclusion that Nigeria is gone, then you should have to go and rewind the incidents or the incidences that happened at the APC primaries. Quite clearly, it shows that Nigeria has a long way to even cling on to the path that will lead us to development. I saw illiterates that can't write their names determining who should rule us. And Mr. Hamza will say that they have their inalienable fundamental human right to also choose. But how do you ask people who don't know what the scope of what they are doing is about to choose for you. Those people are a primary employee to be influenced by the allure of dollars, and that's exactly what happened. Now, for Tinubu, yes, he may have built people according to the arguments for him. He built people, he built Sibanjo, he built governors, he built people. But the truth is that Tinubu and Buhari entered into an agreement that, well, you become the president. After the presidency, it is my turn. And he made no mistake for re-emphasizing that when he said it is the turn of the Yorubas. And for any Yoruba man to think that it is the turn of the Yoruba man after an Obasanjo who ruled for 8 years, and Osibanjo who became vice for 8 years, because of the position of a vice president, let's just say, okay, let's divide it by 2. So if you add 4 years plus 8 years, that's 12 years of Yoruba involvement into Nigeria. Nigeria is not a political battle that can be exchanged by the Yorubas and the Fulanis. It's an insult to the rest of the land. We cannot just sit back and watch this nonsense play under our very eyes.
Mr. Uraka,
Hold on,
I think you are basing your point on tribalism too much. Let's narrow it down and focus on individual.
You asked me to analyze, and I'm analyzing it in the best way I can. So right now, Tinubu for me, one of the things that I calculated against Tinubu is, and the reason why a lot of these northerners are supporting Tinubu is because what we also thought of Yaradua, that Yaradua may not last the whole hurdle. They are the same way they also think that Tinubu too will not last the whole hurdle. And they're going to pick somebody that they prefer, that in the event that hopefully that Tinubu does not last the whole hurdle, might hand over to that person that they want. You see, this whole thing is about ensuring that power remains in the north, not just remaining in the north, remaining with the Fulani cabal. This is what the whole thing is all about. You understand me? It is what the whole thing, and no amount of fear will make me not to say this. Now, Tinubu is just driven by an appetite that it is his turn. Emilio Khan, it's my turn. Not because he actually have a blueprint to raise for Nigeria. He's a man encircled by his experience of Lagos. He is now viewing Nigeria as a space of Lagos. The man is old. The man is not well. The evidence was there at the PDP primaries. When they gave him to raise the flag up, his left hand couldn't even stay strong to assist the right hand to raise the flag.
Raka, I understand you that people are complaining about his health condition. That would have been better than using a tribal kind of,
Yeah, I've gone past the tribal thing. Now I'm talking about specifics.
Tribal one should be excluded.
All your talk is tribal.
Yeah, it's too
but
tribal.
I didn't interrupt Hamza when he was talking. So I thought he would. Yeah, I didn't interrupt you. I made sure I try not to interrupt you. You understand me? Now, you cannot discuss Nigerian politics with a northerner and not bring tribal and religion. This is where they cheat us. Because everything that informs their political decision is based on tribe and religion. So you cannot ask me to sit in front of Hamza and pretend to be intellectually correct. I will not do that. I will do that with somebody who is as enlightened as I am, but not with a northerner, because I know that there is no way you can separate a northerner with his religion and tribe. It's not possible. The Hamza here might sit and pretend he will be the first to say, no tribe. But everything that informed his political decision is tribe and religion. So don't tell me not to talk about religion and politics when I'm talking with the likes of Hamza, because that's what guides them. So I'm going to play and bait in the same mud like him. So let's go to Peter Obi. For me, every single characteristics, every single analysis, and every single perspective suggests that Peter Obi stands out miles apart the two other candidates. Peter Obi as a person is not concerned about material things. This is the only governor who has claimed to have left money in 3 accounts: Access Bank, Fidelity Bank, and Zenith. I don't know. And he has boasted that people should go to those banks and prove him wrong. Nobody has come to say, Peter Obi, that money you save, you leave for Access Bank is a lie. So for that alone, for that amongst many, it shows that for once we have somebody that actually exhibits the true definition of integrity. And in the aspects of tribalism and nepotism, Peter Obi has not displayed any atom of his Igbo affiliation, even when he became the flag bearer of Labour Party, and his Igbo brothers were now beginning to turn the thing as an Igbo thing. He came out and issued a statement urging his people not to turn this thing into an Igbo thing. For the first time, we have a candidate, just his inclusion into this political stratosphere. People have not taken the idea of going to get their PVCs very seriously. For the first time in the Southeast, you know that the Southeasterners never took our electoral system seriously. But now every Igbo man is struggling to go out and stay under the sun to get their PVC because they want this rubbish to change. The whole country are in unison in believing that Buhari has failed, even though Mr. Hamza will not agree with that. I want to change this rubbish. We want to take these looters and these pretenders and these nepotists, these cabals that believe that the Nigerians must work according to their whims. We want to take them away. And Nigerians now have a future and a belief in a Peter Obi who can actually change the whole idea of this cabalism that has become a norm in our political system. Thank you.
Mr. Oraka, according to your analysis, Peter Obi is the most capable candidate right
very,
now.
Very more than capable. Miles apart the rest. Miles apart the rest.
Okay. So, Mr. Hamza.
But your question, hold on. Your question, because hold on, Mr. Hamza. Your question did not include their chances. I deliberately didn't go about their chance. That maybe the second part of your question.
Yes, the second part.
Being capable is different from their chances of becoming the president.
It's different entirely. That's a different question, because being capable first before we look at their chances of winning the election. So, Mr. Hamza, from the analysis of Mr. Oraka, he said Peter Obi will be the most capable candidate right now. What do you think?
It's the worst. There's a list.
Is it what?
Peter Obi is not even qualified.
Go ahead.
Can I have my turn?
Go ahead.
Do I have the floor now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Good. Let me debunk some of the things to put things in the proper perspective. Mr. Oraka's thinking is a problem of Africa and Nigeria. I'll give you reasons. In America, if you look at the presence of America, they have the Latinos, they have the Caucasian, they have the French, they have the Portuguese, they have the blacks, they have the Chinese, they have all kinds of people making up America. And there was no place, if you look at it, they say because Biden is white, so the next president will not be white, or because Trump is white. No, that's no country does that. Even in UK have all these kind of people. Let me give you an example. In UK, we have the English people from England, the Irish people from Ireland, the Scottish people from Scotland, the West government in such country that is developed is not based, okay, this man is Scottish, next time it will be English. No, you know, this kind of narrative is archaic. And the same kind of narrative, I'll start from Peter Obi. Peter Obi is dwelling on that what he knows. That's the experience he has. The experience of when they create a state, local government will divide the whole thing of the state, including the carpet, cutting to share. Peter Obi is the worst president ever been. In fact, the whole Igbo land, Anambra man cannot get a job from Enugu State. Enugu State cannot get a job from Anambra State. Anambra State will not be allowed to build a house in Enugu State. Don't talk about other tribes. No matter is no go
So
area.
is that the fault of Peter Obi, or is
No,
just
as a
a
government,
tribal
let's tell you,
conflict going on
government
within?
has a
Huh?
policy. Government has a policy of now. If you come to Canada, there's a place around the airport now. You think you're in Igbo land because government gave it to the Igbo people. Government owned the land. Government owned the land. The Lebanese have a place. Government gave them to the bloc. If you go to Lagos, Idiaraba is for government. For Hausa, Zango, Munshi for Yoruba. There's no sense. In his government for 8 years, he has done nothing like that. I saw him in his campaign.
He was a governor of a state. He was
No,
not the
let me
governor
finish.
of
Let me
the
finish.
of
Let me
all
finish.
the eastern
If you don't
states.
agree with me, I say something. I'm just trying to tell you that he's not even he doesn't even know what government is all about. Why is attracting the kind of Orakas? These are Indians. They have more than 2,000 tribes. They don't base their presidency based on tribe. Whether this tribe does that, other tribes don't. They don't base it on that. Italy, the same thing. Germany, the same thing. France. All of this development I call into even in Canada where you are now, we have the Eskimos, we have the French, we have the English. They don't base it on that. Tell him, let him understand this is today's world. That's why I cannot understand Buhari, because I've been thinking the archaic way, the old way. Let me clear one thing before I go into it. The accused of Buhari of nepotism, which is a lie. He said it yesterday in your program that the North alone have more than 200, even Plateau have more than 200. Buhari made sure that every tribe is represented in his government. And for people like Oraka, if you give 5 people from Plateau or from particular tribe, then you want to give he measured, they don't say this tribalism. Once is the North, is the Northern. Look at the service chief. They talk about that service chief. How many of them are one tribe? And yet you'll be talking about tribe representation, then you're talking about regional representation. The same Mr. Oraka will be so, in his own way of thinking, will say the person from Kwara is not a northerner. He said the person from Plateau is not a northerner. He said the person from Benue or Kogi is not a northerner. And you accuse Buhari of giving posts to more. If you gather those people, you give more to his people. So you can see the contradiction. These are the problems that's weighing Africa down. This kind of mentality of Peter Obi and Oraka. Peter Obi, did you know that he's the only governor in the whole history of Nigeria to ask a particular tribe to have ID before they could move? He asked Northern to have an ID card before they move. Is that the person you think you can become the president of Nigeria?
So
Yes.
he said no. He ordered, like I can understand. He said,
let me finish.
hold on, please. You will talk. Hold on. I want you to clarify us. You said that Peter Obi is the only governor in Nigeria that
That
has
asks Hausa people to carry ID card.
only Hausa people.
In Anambra State.
Only Hausa people were,
Only
excluded.
Northern must carry ID card. Northern must carry ID card.
So do you mean that he singled out only the Northerners to carry ID card? Why the rest ethnic group?
He said
Why the
every
rest ethnic
movement must have ID card.
Okay.
It's only Peter Obi that drove that say you want to organize market. Where is he? Some shop are getting to Hausa people, take it back and bring it back to Igbo people. It's only Peter Obi who have done that, contrary to Tinubu and the rest. So even Peter, we don't even know where the government is. I saw him walking in the mud and in a pond where there's water fill on the place. He's a governor. He was a governor of that state for 8 years. He could not fix those roads. He could not fix those gutters. And now he's used for advert. Is that the kind of person you want to give your government to? So let's go back to Peter Obi is a misguide. It's just a tribal notice me. What they call it here in Nigeria, notice me. He knows he's going nowhere. Let's go to Tinubu.
very quickly, Sir, before you go to Tinubu, let me read this. I just Google it now. It said, did Peter Obi ask Northerners to carry ID cards during his regime as Anambra State governor?
Yes.
It's a question. I just saw that now online. So, can anybody's also, Mr. Raka, can you jump in there? Because I'm not aware of this. I just saw this online now.
They're also trying to defend it.
I'm not aware too, so I wouldn't say anything about it.
Then that's mischievous because everybody knows he's trying to defend that, and that's not what he meant. It's because of Boko Haram. He was defending it. He didn't deny it. He was defending it. He didn't deny it.
Listen. What is written here is records have it that it was Governor Rochas Okorosha of Imo State under the program Know Your Neighbor. Let me read it. That declared that Northerners should move along with identity cards in the state in 2014. Mr. Hamza, I'm reading something.
It's Peter Obi. If I get the source, I will send it to you. It's Peter Obi. It's not hidden on TV, on everything he says so. It's not like Wiki. Let me say another thing. Wiki said his state, even in the state of America, no state will declare a religious state. He said there's no Muslim in state. State is a Christian state. The same way that it was everybody heard of it, the same way Peter Obi did it. So let's forget about that side. You see, if you look at it, he's not even qualified to even be a regional leader, to even be a leader of Igbo, not talk of Nigeria. Peter Obi is not qualified. Let's go to Tinubu.
Because this article is saying now that it's not Peter Obi.
I'm arranging my point, and you're not allowing to flow. I'm arranging my point, and when you interrupt, if I finish, you can ask those questions like you did to him.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Because I'm breaking my flow, and I will miss it.
Sorry.
If you look at Bola Tinubu fought for June 12th. Bola Tinubu had to run and leave his business for June 12th. When Bola Tinubu contested for governorship in Lagos, I was there. He involved us. I campaigned for him because we move around the Hausa people. And let me tell you one incident that Bola Tinubu did. I keep complaining to him. I'll keep supporting him. When Obasanjo entered, Bola Tinubu was the governor of Lagos. Yoruba felt the way this kind of thinking, Oraka is thinking. They start killing Northerners. I'm a radiographer by profession. And I work in one hospital, one Triumph Diagnostic at Mile 12. I used to live Ikoyi to that place. We're trapped because anybody that looked like me, they will arrange a tire, bring him down and burn him. For nothing. Because of what they do one also in
Look, I think this program we have to just stop it now because it's like Mr. Uraka came in, was defending some tribal groups. While you two, you are following his footsteps. You are trying to right now, Mr. Hansa, this program is not for my guests to be highlighting tribal conflicts. I don't like this. Okay, we can end this program right now. Mr. Oraka did the same thing because you highlighted something about Peter Obi that during his regime as the governor of Anambra State, he asked Northerners to carry identity card. Now you are shifting to Tinubu. Now you are highlighting what was done to the Northerners during the time of Tinubu. As no, that is like you are trying to defend the Northerners. The same thing Mr. Oraka did, and I want us to carry that umbrella of one Nigeria, the oneness of Nigeria. I don't like this. Okay, I'm not sitting here to moderate this type of program where Mr. Oraka will complain about tribal conflict, while you two you will come and trying to highlight some of the atrocities that we have done to the Northerners. Let me talk. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. I just want to make it clear to everyone right now because we want the oneness of Nigeria. You understand? We want people who will carry that umbrella of oneness of Nigeria, patriotic Nigerian. That is what we want. Not somebody that will come and say, oh, when this and this, the Northerners were killed, the Northerners were asked to. Then Mr. Raka, the same thing. This is just too much right now. I can't take it anymore. I'm here to moderate this program because we wanted to discuss about who is capable to manage Nigeria come 2023. I don't want people to be coming here, be complaining, this is how my tribal groups were killed. This is how my tribal groups were asked to have identity card. This is way too much for me right now because I am not here for
But
that.
this is what people were discussing yesterday. This is the impression you were given. That they kill Hausa people, kill this, kill that. In fact, you're the one who was saying you don't think all Hausa. You tolerated that. This is what we were saying yesterday in the program. You are here after I left. I listened to the program. Because I said Canada today, at that time, that the fuel in Nigeria is cheaper than that of Canada, you were angry. And it's a fact. It's a fact.
But you were comparing only the fuel. You didn't compare the insecurity in Nigeria with Canada. So you are comparing something, only that is where you are comparing. You didn't compare the employment rate. You didn't compare the healthcare in Canada with Nigeria. You didn't compare the insecurity in Nigeria with Canada. You didn't compare infrastructure, electricity in Canada with Nigeria. You were comparing the oil, increase of price of oil in Canada with Nigeria because we have problems in Nigeria. All of us, we are too tribalistic to move Nigeria forward.
Tinubu defended the Northerner. You are just interrupting me because you cannot. You have to be umpire when I feel you can say Tinubu defended the Northerner in Lagos, where OPC were killing them. Tinubu stood and defended them, opposite of Peter Obi. And yesterday he tolerated them when they were saying lies and lies about what's happened, what does not happen. You didn't stop them. You didn't feel. When you see, there's one thing in life. When you feel pain about something, that's the truth. Truth is always painful. That's the truth. Truth is always painful. So, you see, apart from that, Tinubu, there are people who contested from the north, as Lagos, as Ogun State, as Oyo State, as Osun State in Lagos. Tinubu supported them. That's nationalistic. Contrary to Peter Obi, that Anambra State, somebody from Imo State cannot contest in Anambra in the presence of Obi. That's to tell Obi is nowhere to be found. Not even you that you are South African, you can't go to Anambra and contest. But I can tell you under Tinubu, a house, in fact, a house of Representative Rurum was a councillor in Lagos. Now he moved back to come to do it. That's Tinubu for you. Yesterday, your brother, Asari Dokubo, I heard him say when he was in prison, Tinubu was the one paying his children's school fees, gave his wife house to stay in Lagos. He didn't know until he came out. This is more nationalistic than anyone. So Tinubu made people who are nobody, ordinary worker, he made them commissioner, he made them governors, he made them this thing. And don't forget that Tinubu, with combination of other northerner, pump up this APC to stop the evil of PDP. Yes. Even the Boko Haram was created by PDP. The OPC was created by PDP. All of this was PDP creation. All the insecurity that's happening today was PDP creation. Niger Avenger was PDP creation. So all of this was PDP creation to stop it. So let me drop that at Tinubu. Tinubu also was able to put Lagos to stay on its own. There was a time, good luck, Obasanjo refused to give Tinubu their revenue. Why? Because he was arguing that why should Kano have more local government than Lagos? They did the research, they found out that it's correct. Then Kano's Obasanjo said you know, then Tinubu went to create local government on his own. But Obasanjo refused to give him Lagos State money. Tinubu on his own generated money and keep Lagos moving. That's a good manager. Tinubu did that in Lagos. Tinubu unite the Igbos, unite the Hausa, unite everybody. You get to a point that we're calling Tinubu that is a Hausa boy. His father is Hausa. It happened in Lagos. So let me show there's so much you can say about Tinubu that makes him better. Let me go to Atiku. You know the problem with Atiku? Atiku has embedded corruption in his life. Atiku was a custom officer. Let's start from there. Being a customer, what kicked Atiku out of custom? There were bags, 60-something bag of somebody, I don't want to call his name, who Atiku, instead of searching the bag, fortunately moved the bag without being properly conducted. And it happened at that time, Buhari and Idiago were the president, were in government. This Gile Giwa, your brother talk about this, is something bags, blah, blah, like that are gone. When Atiku was kicked out of custom, his bosses made him rich. Atiku, don't forget, is a son of a pure mass, a very poor family he come from. Atiku doesn't have sympathy for any poor person. All his friends are from the rich, while he comes from a very poor background. And he's ashamed to associate himself with poor background. Like what some people will say is that they reject. We don't reject. We face the reality. We say the reality. So if you look at the history of Atiku, public property was sold under him. Where's the money? You take a infrastructure that belongs to government that's like 100 million. You sell it for 20,000 to yourself, to your friends. You sell it. You see make his friend rich. So what offer do you have there? How do you compare the two men? So you can see that they are nowhere to be compared. Even on morality, Tinubu was married to one woman all his life. Peter Obi, Atiku married almost all the tribes. Why did he marry? He married Igbo, he married Hausa, he married Fulani, he married Yoruba. Why? To fool people. So let me rest the case so I can continue, then I'll come back again.
Oh my God. Ah, Mr. Anza, you make me to laugh. I was angry. You know that I'm really angry. What you and Mr. Oraka is doing in this program, I'm not very happy about it.
This one always drag us to that tribal lane. All of this is because you said I have to debunk them. Ordinarily, I would be talking about their program, but because he used to go below the belt, below dirty heat, that's why I have to debunk him. Because if you don't debunk him, somebody who don't know, you think what he's saying is true. Yesterday he said something. He said Taqiya. You see, it's a misconception. Taqiya is a religious something. And he's trying to misinform people. For instance now, let me give you an example now. If you, a white man, let's say a white man whose parents are racist, you want to marry a black girl. You understand what I'm saying, Ko? And you know his parents will not accept. So the way, when they are having the relationship, is allowed to hide those things from his parents until things get stronger. Another example is that if you as a Christian maybe want to become Muslim, you can, the first religion you can hide it to your people. That's what called taqiyya. It's allowed because lying is not allowed in Islam. But this lie, let's say somebody, a Christian who wants to become Muslim, is learning about Islam, and then maybe the Christian goes, hey, you want to become Muslim? He's allowed to say, no, I don't even like those people to make those lies. That's what he called taqiyya, not what he's saying. He always turns things upside down. You talk about Buzu before we get here. Buzu is different from Fulani. We play. We find rivalry play. So he tried to misinform people, you know, just for whatever benefit, I don't know. So
Mr. Sani, thank you so much. Mr. Sani, I was expecting you to also make remark about Tinubu's health. We saw him looking so favorable lately.
I like that.
Yes.
You see what they say about Tinubu, they say about the age, they talk about the health. I'll tell you, when Buhari entered, he was the same thing like Tinubu. You go and look at the old pictures of Buhari. When Yar'Adua entered, he almost fell down during campaign. and they didn't think everyone was sick. You know, and let me tell you, if you go to Israel, one time the problem of Israel was on the what is it was hospitalized for a very long time. And if you go to Zimbabwe, the same thing. What does that have to do with?
Mr. Raka, Mr.
Yeah,
Raka,
yeah, I'm with you.
what do you, so I think network problem. So with the head of Tinubu right now, Mr. Hansa was trying to say something, but because of the network logged out. So Tinubu's head is obvious. Many Nigerians are complaining right now that he looks so feeble. You know, even during his campaign in the north, I saw a video where he was struggling to articulate his points. You know, when people are old man like that, when he's sick, it might also affect him mentally. So the same thing happened when Buhari came into power, and you can see that the health issue has been impacting his governance over these years. And we see right now with what is going on, it's like Tinubu is also exhibiting health problem. And this man, if he's elected, who knows if he will be able to manage the country because of his health issue. So, but Mr. Hansa is saying right now that not individual as the president, but we are looking at the political party as a whole, how they can perform. So your take on that, looking at
Uh,
the structure of the party.
first and foremost, I will tell that it has been an arduous patience to be waiting and listening to Mr. Hamza's gibberishness. Everything he is saying is laborious to even listen to. It was laborious to me to even try to string any sense in what he's saying. Believe me, it was total gibberish. Having said that, so even to begin to excuse the health of Tinubu is attempting to admit how insane and how very unserious we want to be in Nigeria. Based on the evidence that we saw with Tinubu not being able to hold up the flag, not being able to flip up pages, wetting his underpants, wetting his Baban Riga. These are, when you add this thing up, you know that this man has outlived his prime. And to give the enormous challenges of Nigeria to a man who is not only going to battle with the problems of Nigeria, but he's going to battle the problems of Nigeria and his health. Now more than ever, we need somebody who is sound and focused for the Nigerian problem alone and Nigerian problem alone, so that we can solve it. Because Nigerian problem has become so dynamic, so complex, and so interwoven to an infinite complexity to be left in a man that is talking about agbado and cassava. Agbado is corn, by the way. A man who believes that you are going to employ 50 million youths into the Nigerian army. Even China, with a population of 1 billion, of over a billion people, cannot boast of 50 million personnel in the military. Do you know what is 50 million? And for him to think of what to feed 50 million people, he's thinking about corn. If you begin to give corn to 50 million Nigerians, that means there will be no corn for other Nigerians to eat. Clearly, from all his analysis and what he intends to, his strategic approach to the Nigerian problem is already shows that this man is not attuned to the realism of Nigerians' problem. It was the same thing with Buhari. The man is very far away to the reality of the Nigerian situation. A man, so Tinubu's health, it will be insane to excuse Tinubu's health from his capacity to govern Nigeria, because you need to have a healthy body to accommodate a healthy brain. Who knows? Because your inability to coordinate your hand is the brain that coordinates the hand. So if the brain cannot coordinate the hand, it means there is a fault to the brain. So if the brain cannot coordinate the hands, because the brain has, they say we have 6 senses: sense of touch, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of hearing, and sense of sight. What's the 6th one? I can't remember now. So if you already have a part that is affecting the sense of coordination of your movement, who knows what that part of the brain that is also affected? A brain that can provide a solution of corn, agbado, and cassava for 50 million recruited Nigerian army personnel. You see, this man is not at all. Comparing Tinubu and Obi in terms of output is a huge insult to the intelligence of Peter Obi. It will be you'll be insulting Peter Obi to compare his intelligent output with the IQ of Tinubu. You'll be insulting Peter Obi. So Mr. Hamza, even though he keeps calling me a tribal bigod, he has exhibited more of tribalism than I do, because judging from what he is defending Tinubu. He was the same man who said that Buhari has performed above 90% in the last program we had. The reason why Hamza is defending Tinubu: one, Tinubu is a Muslim. The rest people that are behind him, Amechi and Professor Sibanji, they are all Christians. Mr. Hamza will never, and I say it with all my sincerity, will never vote for a Christian candidate. I bet you with 100%. But
because I was so surprised that he was opposing Peter Obi. That was
his
no
reason, Mr. Hamza on this program has inalienable. Mr. Hamza on this program has inalienably displayed his hatred for the Igbo people. Time and time again, he has, even when a question about Igbos is not asked, he wants to divert the question to suit a response to express how much hate he has for the Igbos.
The first day I brought him to this program, it was all about the Igbos. I'm telling you.
So
his dislike
for Peter Obi is stemming from his dislike for the Igbos. Not because he has a genuine thing to say against Peter Obi. Look, the only reason why the politics is heated up even before campaign is because of Peter Obi. The only reason why the politics is heated up, you can see there is mass demand for PVC, and the reason why there's mass demand for PVC is because of Peter Obi. Now, Peter Obi is the only candidate for the first time in the history of Nigeria that his persona and aura alone has cut across religious proclivities, ethnic proclivities, regional proclivities. People are tired of the sufferings. People are tired of these money bags, of these old cargoes, of these cabals that have turned our polity and made the ordinary Nigerians to accept what is wrong to seem what is normal. So Peter Obi is somebody that people are now seeing that probably will bring a fresh air and change this whole scenario of the type of politics that we have. So for the first time, people are seeing a sense of hope, a sense of redemption in Peter Obi. And that is why people are now going to get a PVC with the sole purpose of kicking PDP and APC out. Mr. Hamza is only supporting Tinubu on the basis that they are, even though it would be morally wrong for them to field another northerner. In case you don't know, Nekpe, a lot of APC bigwigs are already leaving APC to go and join PDP, because Tinubu is making it seem as if the party belongs to him. Yoruba belongs to him, and the next presidency belongs to him. Emiloko in Yoruba is that it's my turn. So when people say it's my turn, he's telling you that his interest is first.
For the Yorubas,
Yeah, he is not placing the interest of Nigeria above his. It's all about him being a president. Even now, even in that APC primaries, judging from what all of them have said they are going to offer from Nigeria, Tinubu has to read from what was typed to him. Osibajo said, you know, if I feel love for you, Nekpe, if I'm going to toast you as a girl, I don't need to write it on a piece of paper. What I actually feel about you, I will say it to you. You know, I love you. Ever since I met you, I saw your beautiful face. There's something about your smile. There's something about your nose. I love your hair as it droops down your shoulders because it is what I feel naturally for you. All those young boys will see this rhyme. No go use them. It's my personal rhyme. No go use them, toast babe. You get me? So if I'm going to woo you, it's going to come from a natural feeling I have about you. So Osibanji was speaking from a conviction, from the natural thing he feels about Nigeria. So if at all APC indeed want to have elected a genuine candidate, it should have been Pastor Yemi Osibanji. But I tell you that it will be a cold day in hell for a cardinal to vote a pastor. That word pastor, Yemi Osibanji, no, it's not possible. So when people like Hamza comes and tell me that I'm tribalistic, I speak like that it is a formula they have used to weigh down most of our southerners, so that when you are speaking the realism, devoid of these drawbacks from our Western orientation, they want to weigh you down because they are comfortable when you allow this Western education to guide your political perspective. Such kind of wear down makes you become politically correct because you begin to speak languages that assume political correctness. And when you see that, you say, yes, this guy spoke well. I don't play that political correctness again. There is no way I will be in a forum and speak with a northerner and devoid myself of bringing religious and ethnic consideration into this, because that is the only thing that guides them. Remember I told you that Nigeria say malam. It's a popular cliche here. Nigeria must be ruled
No,
by a northerner.
I was expecting you, Mr. Uraka, to set at least an example. So by not adding any ethnic or tribal conflict into your comments, but I was so surprised that you mentioned tribal, this tribe, the other tribe. When we start mentioning tribes, which means we are being
I know, and I'm sorry about that,
so
but I was
yes.
only
So we
speaking.
want to be
I was
neutral
only
here,
Yeah, I
encourage
was
the dream
only
of
speaking.
one
I was
Nigeria.
only speaking. You see what Mr. Hamza and I were doing. You wouldn't know. You don't know. You will be very naive in what we are doing. He is speaking the language that I will understand because I know what he's doing, and I'm also speaking the language you understand because I know what he's doing. You see this idea of misdirection. If you watch a movie they call Swordfish, Swordfish, yeah, misdirection. I will say what you need to hear. But in truth, I'm telling you what I need to hear, because underneath what I'm telling you to hear, there's a bigger purpose. That is the political character. That is the political characterization of the northerner. And I know this antics very, very well. I know this antics very, very well. You get me? His display of that Atiku did this, Atiku did is a lie. On the day of election, I can bet my life that Mr. Hamza will not vote Tinubu. Or if remotely he votes Tinubu, it is because right now, who is going to become the running mate of Tinubu? Because to an average Fulani man, a Yoruba Muslim, no matter how deep he is in Islam, is a southerner. So will Tinubu pick a southerner as his running mate? Say, okay, Christian, not. Of course, a Muslim ticket for Tinubu is off the plate. Will he pick a Christian not? The northern will not vote him. Will he pick a Christian middle belt? The northern will not vote him. Will he pick a Christian south? Obviously, the north will not vote him. So the north would have calculated the political, even though we've not gotten to the chances. The points I'm giving you now would have come on your question of the chances of these three candidates. So perhaps I will release that when you ask the question, I will analyze their chances for you.
So, Mr. Answer, we are expecting him to join again, and it's not coming. I don't know why.
I hope it. I hope he
What will
didn't
be
get.
doing
I
again?
hope he didn't get angry and leave.
Because so far, no, it's not that type. So far, Mr. Anza picked Tinubu. Why you picked Obi, Peter Obi? So
Yeah,
Peter
I'm for Peter
Obi,
Obi 100%.
yes. So Tinubu, and he was trying to comment on his health issue that many Nigerians have been highlighting over this month. It was very obvious during the primaries how Tinubu was tumbling. The health issue is obvious. The same thing happened during the time of Buhari before he came into power. So, we cannot take this for
Yeah,
granted
he
for
made that
anything
comment.
because
Yeah. I said I was going to respond. I forgot. Now,
mm,
Buhari displayed signs of feeblishness in his into prior to the 2015 election, but Buhari's Buhari's ailment was more an appearances. We didn't see Buhari shaking his hand, Buhari showing in a look. Let me tell you something. When Buhari came to Jos, and young boys were trying to touch him, Buhari single-handedly fought those boys away. I saw him.
oh,
I was there. He fought them away. So Buhari didn't go and shaking his hands and looking feverish and people helping him to come down the stairs. We didn't see that. All we saw was Buhari's face that looked wrinkled. He was so lean. We were more
mm,
attached to Buhari's physique, not his physiological appearances or not his physiological automation.
depend on the nature of the health issue. You
Yeah,
understand? Buhari is sick and is still sick now. In
yeah.
that age,
And
and
then
you barely see
and
anybody
again
that
and
have
again, Fulanis are naturally slim people. So you might see
mhm.
them with very small flesh, but they have strong bones. But in the case of this Tinubu, you cannot compare Tinubu's health condition with that of Buhari years ago. This man is just struggling. Tinubu just want to add that title to his life's resume. Former governor of Lagos State, former this, and president. Even if he dies in it, it's not about rescuing Nigeria. It's about a Milocon. It's about it is my turn.
That is selfishness.
That is now
Selfishness.
you've said it. It is said it. He said it as the turn of the Yorubas. And I get very angry when the Yorubas who have had 8 years in Obasanjo saying that it is their turn again. I get very angry. Now I don't have anything against Yorubas. I really don't have anything against them. But for Yoruba man to be saying that it is their turn after having an Obasanjo's 8 years, then even if we are going to go to this my turn, then Atiku has a stronger case because Atiku is from the northeast, and the northeast have not had their share of leadership. So on that basis, I think Atiku should have it. If it is on the basis of regions, the northeast and the southeast, they've not ruled this country at any point in time. It's always the northwest, southwest, and then more recently south.
Tinubu just want to bear that
Period.
title. Not that
Period. That's what it's all about. It's about his turn.
he has nothing. He has nothing to deliver. He has nothing because he's very old now and he's sick. He's sick. Look at him. And he's pushing himself too much now. He's supposed to be relaxing, either having bed rest and all that, taking medication, taking care of himself. He's pushing himself more than his limits. That's why he's tumbling. He's
The
looking
same way,
feeble,
the same way,
unable to articulate his point. He's struggling, but he don't want to step down. That is
the same way,
selfishness.
the encouragers of Buhari lured Buhari to become president. And now that Buhari is president, it is the backers of Buhari now that are actually ruling Nigeria. It's not Buhari. Buhari is not the one dishing out all the policies and rules. It is his backers, the people around him. It is the same way the people around Tinubu are trying to use Tinubu just to get there. When they are there, it is not Tinubu that will be saying anything. It's not Tinubu that will make the speeches. Buhari has never made a live broadcast. It is always recorded. Buhari has never granted interview to any journalist, to any TV station. So we are going to have a Tinubu presidency whereby they'll be managing all the things that we have not seen or things we have not heard. So anybody who have experienced 8 years of Buhari and you are campaigning for Tinubu, it shows that Nigeria, that I'll be praying to God, God, please let me not see this thing in my time, because I can't believe that Nigeria has actually lost. I can't believe that Nigeria has actually lost their sense of rationality. Because if we still have any sense of rationality less, we can't be bringing the likes of Tinubu to rule us again, or Atiku to rule us again. How on earth will you be even thinking about a choice between Atiku, Tinubu, and Atiku use money to buy himself into where he is, stage one. Tinubu use money to buy himself to where, if you really have something to give to Nigeria, must you buy yourself to that place? If somebody is in the river drowning, would you ask the person, oh boy, you dey drown, no, I go give you 100,000, make I come save you. Then the person in the river say, no, make it 200. Say, no, okay, I'll give 150. Oh yeah, make I see the money. Then before I jump to the river to come and rescue you from drowning. If you really want to help Nigeria, you don't need to pay money, which is why I respect Peter Obi. Peter Obi said he's not giving shishi because you don't need to pay people to help them. You don't need to pay them. So he has told you what he wants to do, and based on everything that he has been saying, this man will give you the statistics of the economy of Malaysia without reading from a book. He will give you the statistics of Britain, Russia, USA without reading from a book.
Mr. Raka, to be honest and realistic, Peter Obi, if he's preaching that a kind of policy of not offering money to anyone, he's not ready to become the president.
No, I'm going there. I'm going there. I will go there. No, I'm just going there. I'm not using that as an analysis.
Corruption during election period, I'm telling you, they used to call people with their phone. Once they have your phone number, they will call you, be saying all kinds of things. I'm telling you, if Peter Obi continue to carry that mentality and that,
I agree with you. I agree 100. I agree 100%.
Nobody will vote for him. No, except those who really have the money. Those who, maybe someone like you understand, educated ones. Even some educated people still want money to vote for a candidate in Nigeria. So otherwise, it's not going anywhere. You should stop that thing.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. So, but I understand that people in diaspora are contributing money. I understand that so far they've contributed 25 billion naira for his campaign. So, but the truth is that for the first time we have somebody that people are willing. I am living in Jos here, and I can tell you that the name people are calling in Jos here now is Peter Obi. I can tell you that for sure. That the name, you see, let's not lie to ourselves. The only reason why Mr. Hamza will not vote Peter Obi is based on religion and tribal consideration. Period. If Tinubu today says he is not a Muslim, he's not a Christian, all the northerners that are supporting him will drop their vote. I know these people. I know them like the back of my palm. They don't. This is it. Don't allow your Western education to make you become politically correct. This is what drives them. This is what forms their basis. This is what needs their political ideology. Tribe and religion. Don't take that away from them. So I've not said anything.
Mr. Raka, I think we have to end this program like this for today. Why on Sunday we'll continue with this discussion around chances of this candidate winning the presidency in 2023. So we have Atiku Abubakar right now, who's very rich. Tinubu as well is very rich. Peter Obi, we can say he's rich and he's not willing to offer money. So what are their chances right now, especially Peter Obi? He's a strong candidate. We all know that he's capable, but what are the chances of him winning the presidency?
You want me to
So
talk?
that is what. Yes, go ahead. You can talk, but we'll
Oh,
still continue on Sunday. But go ahead, talk now.
look, let me tell you, the only thing that will truncate Peter Obi's chances is the lack of unity. But from what I'm seeing now, something is driving Peter Obi's campaign, and the very thing that has destroyed Nigeria and what is lacking, what is not controlling the campaign, and that is what is helping Peter Obi. People love Peter Obi not because of tribe. People love Peter Obi not because of religion. People love Peter Obi not because of region. You see that tribe, religion, and region, those are viruses that have leached on the psychology, morality, and the political development of Nigeria. That is why Nigeria has become so developmentally emaciated today. And these things are not the ones determining Peter Obi's decision. So we once had an NSAS protest. Nobody coordinated it. Nobody faulted it. It had no religion, it had no ethnicity, it had no region. People just queued in because people were tired. One factor you should know is that people are tired of the government. People have now come to the realization that the same old idiots, the same old thieves are recycling themselves. And people have also come to the realization that Peter Obi is not one of those thieves. If there's any campaign ideology that Peter Obi has sold, is the fact that he's not one of the thieves. And he proved that by saying that he was a governor but left millions of dollars in the account, and even stated the banks in which those monies are. Nobody has come to refute it ever since he left office. So people now, because of the suffering or because of the retrogressive evidence that they have, they want to identify with hope. They want to identify with the future. And that is why a lot of people are now saying, okay, it's Peter Obi. Because you can hardly identify Peter Obi with corruption. You can hardly identify Peter Obi with nepotism. You can hardly identify Peter Obi with tribalism and this regional proclivity. So people want to identify with a breath of fresh air. That breath of fresh air, that goodness of change is seemingly, for now, can be identified with Peter Obi. And that's why the Peter Obi ideology or the Peter Obi aura is triggering this tsunami of interest in politics. For the first time, Igbos are able to lock their shops to go and get PVC. Do you know what that means? It means somebody has been able to reawaken the awareness. In case you don't know, I heard that in Lagos, that supporters of Tinubu, I don't know, it's just that they are preventing Igbos to go and collect their PVCs. So I like the fact that somebody's presence in this polity or somebody's presence in this political equation is triggering a political awareness for people to take elections seriously. My wife has not voted. My wife has a voter's card, but this time she's planning because we moved away from where she registered. So she's planning how she will go to that place when on the day of election. So we are planning. So everybody is a fever that has it's like another type of COVID-19. I think this is COVID Obi, and that everybody is willing to be infected. I'm going to post that on my Facebook wall. So you get me? A new type of virus is in town. It's called COVID Obi. I want to be infected. So that is what is happening. And that's my closing statement.
Thank you, Mr. Oraka. I think we have to end this program like this for today. For some people who we are trying to call in before, if you can just call in now, we have maybe another 10 minutes to stay here before we log out. Please call in now. And I have my battery here is low for my.
Did you leave your number? Did you leave your number on the line? So let's take one or two calls.
So call in now. The phone is on here. Call back. Some people we are calling. Call back. I want to fix my audio.
Battery is low. Please recharge.
Um,
If people are not calling, are there comments? Are there comments that we will need to respond to? So,
okay, let me read the comments. Let me see the comments.
Battery is low. Please recharge in time.
You don't come here believing aggressive messages. Only I cannot block people from this app here. That's the only problem I'm having here.
Battery is low. Please recharge in time.
Mr. Blessing Child, it needs strength and great heart to be a president of a country. Absolutely, yes. That is what we are trying to rate right now. And some people are pretending as if everything is okay. When somebody is looking so feeble and is running for the presidency of Nigeria, Nigeria is a very complex society. With the situation of the country right now, the insecurity ravaging the lives of innocent civilians in the country. So someone is running for the presidency looking so feeble, unable to even work during the primaries, and we are saying that this person is capable of managing Nigeria. So we have to be careful with what we do in that country. You know, if we believe that somebody like that Tinubu can manage Nigeria with his health condition right now, it's going to be like
of
the
course, now
continuity
somebody
of
said
this
Buhari Pro
administration.
Max.
Yes. Um, we the radical immorals from Essex. No, no, I don't read certain comments. Okay. The North we only use Tinubu and dump him. If Chief Obafemi Awolowo was alive, he would have told him he is playing with the great
Yeah,
players.
that's
Is
very
that
true.
true?
I support that comment.
Huh?
I support that comment. That's very
I
true.
support that comment. That's very true. So, do you mean that the Northerners voting him for the primaries is for a reason?
They were voting for only
So,
one
voting for
reason.
the
The daughter has already know his people nature. They know very well he's not well. They're just making. The only reason why you see he got that vote was because of his comment in Ogun State, where he threatened, and because they are partners in crime, he knows their secret and they know his secret. They know that if they allow this man to say certain things, the country will be on fire. So since they are going to threaten us, let's just allow you to get the presidency so that we all rest. So we are they to me, I want to have a feeling that they've left APC for him. And okay, carry your APC, they go. We are going to PDP. So that's what I think is happening.
Battery is low. Please recharge.
If nobody is calling in, let us wrap up.
Yes, we have to end this program now. We'll come back on Sunday. I don't know what's going on with the audio here. It's just making noises. Look, it's making noise. So on Sunday, we'll continue with this discussion, guys. If today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing and follow our political analysis on Nebo TV. So I'm going to be bringing Mr. Sani. I saw some people saying that is Mr. Sani coming back. I don't think so because you know that he has been at work since morning. He told me that he will briefly join the program today, and he did. We appreciate that. I don't think he will come back again for today. So on Sunday, I will talk to him if he can come back. At least we always enjoy his comments, even though it's very controversial. But at least you know we need to hear from the Northerners. I don't think Mr. Sani is speaking on behalf of all the Northerners. I don't think all of them are thinking the way he's thinking. His own perception about Nigeria, this upcoming election, might be different from majority of the Northerners. We don't know. That's why, Mr. Raka, maybe I will still look for some other people.
I'll bring somebody from the middle. I'll bring somebody from the middle belt.
Okay.
Mm.
So
maybe
we'll
on Sunday. On Sunday, I will not be the one that will talk. I'll bring a natural person from the street, just a commoner, an ordinary person on the street. He will sit here. I will not be the one here. He will sit here and talk with him. So you enjoy him. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. We'll do that on Sunday. Guys, don't forget to join us on Sunday. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to be doing this political discussion every week, 2-3 times a week. And I have my assistant who's going to take over because I can't be... Mr. Sani is back. Mr. Sani.
No, me, I'm tired though. I can't continue. Maybe I'll leave you and Mr. Sani to continue.
Mr. Sani is back. So let's hear from him.
No, me, I'm going. Me, I'm leaving. I'm tired. So I will excuse you now. You can continue, Mr. Sani.
Okay, you wait. Let him come first. Then you just leave. Okay. So Mr. Sani is here, guys. If you are watching right now, hold on. I'm going to add him. Hello, Mr. Sani, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Hello, Mr. Sani, can you hear me?
Battery is low. Please recharge.
Hello.
Yes, sir. So Mr. Raka has left because we wanted to log out when you came in.
Okay, sorry, because the charge
and
went.
My battery here is just making noise from
Yes,
my audio. I have
it's all right. My battery went.
Me too. I don't know what's going on with I have a external audio on my computer. It's external audio and it's just making noise. I don't know why, even though I'm charging. We have electricity here in Canada, unlike Nigeria where we don't get electricity. we have electricity here.
My point is that somebody who is in the university cannot compare with somebody in the primary school. We are less than 100 years old, and they are more than 200 years old. So we can't compare our development with theirs. That's the point I've been trying to make since.
Can we compare Nigeria with Ghana and other neighboring countries? You know,
very good. Ghana is like you say the whole Western state, or you say Kano and Jigawa and Katsina.
No, Nigeria as a country. We are looking at Nigeria, not any state in Nigeria. Nigeria as a whole, compared with Ghana as a country.
Ghana run down to Nigeria because their economy is so bad. Everything is bad there. So they run down to Nigeria. But now, see, when we got independent, we are 85 million. British was 80 million. But now we're almost 200 and something. British is less than, I think, 120 up to now. So the populations and the lack of development and the America, the British, all this advanced world have passed through the stage we are in now. They passed there. So you cannot compare somebody who have learned, maybe is a professor in the academia, and then with somebody in the primary school. But you can only judge the primary school, his performance in the primary school, and wait until you get to the university. So that's the point I'm trying to make. You can only compare us when we are 200 or 150 years. We have a lot of them. Before this technology, we don't have it. It's less than 20 years in Nigeria now. So
Yeah, we understand that. Mr. Sani, it's like we'll take this program, we'll extend it to Sunday because
no,
I don't know what's going on with my audio. Like what I said earlier, that I have an external audio on this computer and it's just making noise. It's giving me notification that the battery is low and I'm
yeah, my
charging
body
it. I
just
think
went
there's,
off. You know, it just died. I don't even look at it. So that's why I went
yeah,
out.
mine too is making noise here. The noise is
Okay,
obvious.
we leave
You
it.
know,
I
on
want to connect.
Sunday, on Sunday, will you be available to join us a little bit earlier,
Work out time.
not late night like this? Earlier, that would be around 4 o'clock,
No
4,
problem.
5 o'clock. Is that okay? Okay.
No problem.
Hello. Uh-huh. 4, 5 o'clock on Sunday, we'll come back again with Mr. Uraka.
No
So we'll
problem.
continue with this discussion. Thank you,
No problem.
Mr. Sunny.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon. Good night. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.